All right, I have hit the stream button. Brian is back. So we'll start this over again.
Okay.
Okay, potion of healing. I'm gonna take that as my action.
And we're out of combat, so you just take the full healing amount, which is 10 hit points.
Okay.
Not 20?
Not 20.
Not 12?
Not
21?
12 either.
Not 20, 21?
Okay.
I could just
So-
cure wounds.
No, don't waste it.
The 5, that's... How long does that... Yeah, I'm going to say that's probably gone on you.
On what? Are you maintaining concentration on something, Chris? What's the blue
You
dot?
had that move up, but it doesn't last that long, so I'm removing it. Okay, as you go, you quickly see guards moving in and pinning people against the wall
Oh, lovely.
or against the fountain, and surrounding them. And it just seems to be certain individuals.
Interesting.
And you notice
I put on innocent
that
face,
it's
by the way.
it's the more the non-humany or the suspicious-looking ones.
Okay.
So they're racist.
Racial
Should we?
profiling.
Well, yeah, as I assumed that when we first met the guy. Should we? No, he's approaching us. Never mind. I was gonna say, should we volunteer ourselves for questioning, since everyone's gonna point fingers at us anyway?
Um,
And we have a pile of unconscious people next to us.
yeah. So as you guys are as these guys are being kind of taken into hand, you can tell he's watching, keeping an eye on you guys as his men kind of surround you.
Yeah, I make no motions. I'm like looking at him the whole time. I'll nod if he makes eye contact with me.
Yeah, I put my daggers away and just kind of lean up against the fountain. If it does the water thing to hold me up, even better.
Okay.
You're muted, Lob.
I'm gonna do the same as Saf, but I'm gonna have my arms folded.
Okay. He
I have my arms on my head.
Do you really?
Like,
Get on your knees and.
He as he approaches you, you see all of the guards that are with him, readying weapons, kind of not quite like pointing them at you, but readied in your direction.
Do they seem
They
like
seem
they're anticipating a fight, or just?
yes,
Okay.
very much so.
Okay.
They definitely seem to be on their, like, literally on their guard as they are coming in. And as you guys have not necessarily made any moves, so finally this guy, who you recognize now,
Denis.
comes up, and he looks at you, shakes his head, and he starts pulling off these cloth long gloves as they kind of are disappearing under his coat. So as he's pulling the guards off, he shakes his head and he addresses you all. Well, I can see that you learned nothing since we last met. I told you, Fairhaven and Onder needs nothing of the dragon-marked houses. And now,
I hold my hands up.
here you are.
I bear no dragon marks, Mr. Denis.
Here you are, he continues, assaulting citizens of Fairhaven. As he says that last bit, he turns to seemingly encompass others as well. And you can see this pretty massive troll is just kind of like nonplussed. No idea what's going on. He's just kind of hanging out, and he's kind of like loudly whispering, "What's wrong? What's wrong?" And that's not a bugbear. Hobgoblin, thank you. I was like, what the hell is that? The hobgoblin next to him is trying to quiet him down and keep him calm as the guards are just kind of like shaking, holding their spears towards him. After he says that last bit, he turns back to you and he looks over and he addresses one of his guards. You! Take care! Check to see if there are signs of life with any of these, as he points to the guards.
They're all unconscious but unharmed, I say, clearly.
Check them!
They assaulted us. We were coming to...
He turns to you.
Yeah, alright.
He turns to you, holding up his hand. You lot! Surrender your weapons, or we will take you by force.
That's unnecessary. We came here as tourists, and these people, I motion toward the unconscious bodies, accosted us. But I'll take my rapier off my belt. I'm not gonna...
I already threw away my weapons.
He starts... okay, so Mother, you put down your shield and...
I did a while ago.
Okay.
I'll hand it over in scabbard hilt first. I have no problem.
Some of the guards come and they start collecting things. Dalavash, are you disarming?
No.
No?
No.
The guard... this guy steps a little bit forward as these two kind of come in closer, and he says, "Sir, your weapons."
I'm gonna turn to Dalavash and say, we don't need to start another fight. I'm sure we can sort this out at the station or whatever.
You better be right about this. I'll give up my weapons.
Okay. He collects them from you, and then slowly this guy steps up toward you. You kind of get surrounded a little bit, Saf, as these guys step up towards you.
I just look at him. Can I help you?
Right as they come up and they say, "Madame, weapons."
And I look at them and I point out all their weapons and I'm like, yep, I see. 1, 2, 3. You're not touching them.
Fool. While normally I applaud this type of disregard, you will get us killed. This is not the city to make this stand. Girl, give your weapons.
It's funny because as she's hearing this and I'm not even hearing it, obviously I'm looking at her like, come on.
As you do that, these two kind of step a little bit closer and start kind of surrounding Lob, and he says, "Enough! Surrender your weapons, or we will take you by force. I am done having this argument. You will surrender your weapons and come with us. You are under the arrest by order of King Rogar of all of Onder. Surrender now, or face judgment.
Yeah, we're supposed to be meeting with the royalty here, so if we put up a big stink, it's just going to make us look bad.
The captain here, he kind of looks at you, looks at his 2 guard staff, and he just says, "Madame, please, if you are innocent, our courts are not above finding. Your gear will be returned." And he's saying this in a much quieter voice, like only to you, as he kind of looks nervously towards Montrechard.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
He just kind of slaps his gloves, and you see these 2 guys nervously approach Lob, and just kind of...
I'm looking for staff to disarm before I do anything.
Yeah. I will specifically give it to the one that just spoke to me. And when I lean in, I will say, if anything, if I do not get these returned, it is your head.
He visibly relaxes, and he says, "I shall keep them myself." And he nods to you. This
Does he
guy
have a
kinda
name?
takes a step back. You didn't get it.
No name tag.
No name tag. The other 2
Officer
kind of...
117.
One guy he lowers a spear towards you, like a pike towards you, Lob, and the other guy is like holding out his hand.
Alright. I take out my 2 hand axes, I hold them out, and I drop them on the ground. Then I take out my giant telephone pole shooter, and I drop that on the ground. And I take out my big 2-handed sword, I drop that on the ground. And I say, "This isn't gonna help you."
The 2 guards just kind of exchange looks, and the guy holding the pike, he just kind of motions for the other guy, and the other guy slowly, like, trying to keep his eyes on you the whole
No,
time.
what you do, Jamie, is you point at the unconscious guys and you say, "I didn't use these today."
Why do you think I just
was like,
attacked him?
If you investigate those, you'll find those are unused.
He just starts... another guy comes over to help him kind of gather them up, and between the 2 of them, they have them. And this guy comes and reports to Montrechard, and he says, "Sir, all of the weapons are accounted for." And he almost looks disappointed. And he just says...
Oh yeah, he's fixing to get us into trouble in a fight, I can tell.
Then we should
And he
just fucking
just-
kill him.
I'm thinking the opposite. Don't give him what he wants. Beat him at his own game.
Alright. So you can see that there's quite a few other people who have been gathered up with you.
Yeah.
Not this guy.
He's just rounding up everybody.
Yeah, they're literally just rounding up everyone, and he says, "Very well, come with me," and you guys head off in the direction of in the north there, and soon enough you head to what looks like a massive, like almost like a courthouse, and you guys are taken into a side building, and from here you can see like the royal I'm just gonna flip you guys over to here. You can see part of like the royal what must be like the royal palaces back here, but you are taken to like I said, what you think might be like some type of municipal building, You're taken into the side, and you're quickly all like the massive group of you are taken down and put into a holding cell, and you're in a a much bigger holding cell, but you can also see that there are rooms all along, and you ended up going down a couple flights of stairs.
And we're locked in with all the other guys that got rounded up, the troll, and everybody's in here too.
Currently, yes.
Great.
And apparently I still have issues with music automatically starting.
I mean, I'll strike up a conversation with the others that got arrested, ask them if this is a common thing, getting arrested by this guy.
Now, there's a lot of guards around you, and as you kind of start to talk, that's not what you get hushes by the guards, but in particular, next to you, Dove, is a smallish man who has almost animalistic features. Like he has a bit of a like the beginnings, the barest hint of like some type of snout. You can tell he is a shifter.
Okay.
Yep. And he just kind of like looks at you, and he kind of shakes his head, like squinting his eyes, like not really. But he just kind of under his breath says, "The royal eyes do not see eye to eye right now." And that's about all he says before you guys get hushed. So,
Who did he say doesn't see eye to eye right now? What was the first
he said
word?
the royal eyes.
The royal eyes. Okay.
Are the unconscious people who attacked us still with us or taken elsewhere?
They did not go with you.
Okay.
So you guys were marched off. Several guards stayed behind. A healer was, brought in to kind of take a look at them.
Okay.
And shortly after you guys arrive, and probably about, I would say, a half an hour after you are put into the giant holding cell, maybe a little bit less, you're not really sure of the time, Richard arrives, and with him he brings a kind of a surly looking guard.
Oh, yeah, he's pretty surly looking.
So as they come up, Richard first takes 3 of you, and he places you individually in cells. And so the first 3 that he takes are Dalavash, Saf, and Lob. And they kind of just direct you guys
in their
towards
own cell or individual cells?
individual rooms, but they look like they're dual purpose rooms. They're definitely used for questioning, but there are implements. There's as you guys kind of just look as the doors open, you see that there is a a small table with one chair next to it, and then the other chair has manacles and other things. So that's where the question. And those three go into the rooms accompanied by 2 guards each, and the doors are closed. At that point, Mont Richard goes into the first room, which is where Dalavash went. So Mother, Dove, you guys are there, and then as you're kind of all just kind of milling about into the room, the guard starts like kind of just walking up and down, tapping his club on the bars. Where are you in the room? Just consider it to be like a big room. Are you near the bars? Are you in the middle?
Is there a bench?
What's that?
Is there a bench, or is it only standing?
No, there is several benches. So there's like, just imagine like a big square room, and there are gates on 2 sides and 2 benches on the other 2 walls.
I would want to sit
There's
on
only
the
one
bench.
big door.
I want to sit on the bench closest to the door.
Okay. Mother, where are you?
Probably next to her.
Okay. As he makes a couple circuits, just kind of beating on the doors, there's a lot of chatter, and he yells out, "Quiet down! That's it! I said quiet down!" And everyone's kind of quieting down. "Really? You give me lip? You! Come here!"
Did anyone give me
As he motions to you, Dove.
Ooh, I'll get
Definitely did not
Okay.
give any lip.
I'll walk over.
And your friend as well?
I was walking over before he said that.
Okay. So as you guys kind of approach, the rest of them are kind of, everyone else is kind of like keeping their distance because you guys were singled out.
Mm-hmm.
And he says, "Now listen here." And then his voice kind of gets quiet as he says, "You will pay attention to what I have to say." And he's just got this angry look on his face.
Okay,
But
I'm
he
just
leans in
smiling.
closer,
Okay.
and as he does,
I will lean in and turn my ear toward him.
I
he
cross my
brings his hand up to his face, and he just goes like this. And as he does, you see the face of Tomas.
arms. Oh, interesting.
And he moves it back,
Okay.
and then you see the surly guard again. And he
Okay.
just winks at you.
I say, "Yes, sir. We'll keep it down.
Affirmative, sir.
I will attempt to keep all of these surly ruffians in line." And I turn around and I kind of smile at the rest of the people in here because I know that they're all wrangled up for nothing.
If you
He
please,
said-
sir, where are the other suspects?
He just kind of holds up a finger, and he says in a louder voice, he says, "I'm not done talking to you. You will be quiet." And then he just kind of grins at you and winks, and he says to you,
Nod.
"I see you have made it to the beautiful city of Fairhaven.
Look around in the cell.
Oh,
Break a view.
do not take this as the pure hospitality. This city is fine and grand, and I have no doubt that you will see much more of the city. I take it that the information I share went well. Yes?
It did indeed. Yes, we'd be curious to meet your benefactor and wherein all this information came from.
Ah, yes. All in good time, yes. Again, trust must flow both ways. And I do not believe that your entire group yet trusts me.
Can you blame them?
Hopefully. Oh no. But hopefully we have made a good start, yes?
A good start.
All those people that you saved. Not only did it earn your respect of your 12, but many people will learn of what you have done.
We'll see.
Do not take this raving purple man as the sole viewpoint of the royals. Yes, there are still loyalty to the houses.
Yes, there seems to be some kind of a faction war going on in your city.
Oh, it is not mine, but I do enjoy my time here. Yes.
I hope so.
Then in a gruffer voice, now don't make me tell you this again.
Oh,
Go sit down.
I look terrified. I pretend to be scared. Look at me,
Hey,
like
hey.
terrified. Sorry, minimum of 19. Oh, I'm so scared.
So he kind of just goes back at his clanking of bars. In the meantime, the three of you that are in the cells, Mont Richard visits you one by one and probably spends a good 15, 20 minutes just raving at you. And he consistently brings up things that you've never heard of, accusing you of plots against the crown. He's talking about assassinations that you have no knowledge of.
Or even the people
And-
he's talking about.
Yeah, none of it. And he doesn't even really let you answer too much. But what I want to know is, how do you respond to the accusations? Do you choose to keep silent?
I stay silent until the end.
Okay.
In fact,
There's
I
guards
yawn
there
a
too,
few
right?
times.
There are 2 guards plus Mont Richard, and he's bringing up. So like here's a couple of the things that he says. Where were you on the night of so and so?
February 31st.
Exactly. And he says, the king's own family was killed, and we have reason to suspect that you were involved.
Wow.
Eyewitness reports put you at the place. What do you have to say for yourself?
I completely deny everything.
Okay. The other thing he talks
I've
about
been here before.
is a theft, and then at the very end, he briefly mentions, and what was your involvement in the fracas at the fountain?
Should probably pick some.
And you can each tell me if you answer that and what you say. We'll start with you, Dalvesh.
I'll be honest and tell them, look, we got. Well, I'll be somewhat honest. I don't know. These lunatics came out of nowhere and attacked us. We defended ourselves.
We shall see after all those involved have been questioned. Staff, what's your answer to that? And what's your answer to the other things which you have no knowledge of?
So my first reaction, I assume Saf would be probably hearing about the king's family, confused, and she would show it, but she wouldn't say anything, or she would deny it, be like, I really have no fucking clue what you're talking about. The theft, same thing. I don't know. If I knew what date it was, I would say exactly where I was.
We were in the
And my-
Marlins.
Yeah, exactly. With my involvement at the fountain, I would say we went based on the recommendation of the innkeeper where we were staying. We arrived and went to the fountain, and I saw the two people, and I'll say exactly who they were. And I will say I saw them mouthing, "Are you sure that's them?" And then I will, as an example, be like, if you don't believe that I can do that, like, just be like, go have the guards have a conversation, because I'm sure he won't fucking care, but be like, I can show you I know exactly how to read your lips, and then just be like, I don't, we were attacked, and then you came spouting like a fucking lunatic.
You don't seem to get under his skin at all. Like, nothing seems to really faze him. And all three of you roll me an insight.
Is he trying to be deceitful, or is he trying to lie?
You don't know.
Well, that's what
'Cause
we're
I
going to
get-
find out what you
Oh.
think.
I
Right.
have a special thing, that's all.
What is your special thing?
Wow.
God.
If
I
I
think
roll
it
anything
fixes-
lower, it's treated as an 8, so that would be a 13 instead of an 8.
Oh, you got
Okay.
that thing, yeah.
If they're trying to
Reliable
lie.
talent,
If they're
whatever it's
being
called.
Oh, there
eye
it is.
for deceit.
Ear for deceit.
Ear
Yep.
for deceit, yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
nice.
So the biggest thing. So wow, actually, you none of you.
What about my passive wisdom?
We're not on a roll.
I
We're
know.
not
My
asking
my
about all the
20
20s.
or my
Uh,
18, whatever the fuck it is.
Oh, yeah,
Go
'cause it's
ahead.
in-
I'm gonna let everyone roll with advantage. So, Dalavash, you've got it because it's a long interrogation. So I just need a. There we go. Lob. Okay. So all three of you get the impression that he's really just kind of feeling you guys out, and that he's just trying to throw you off your guard. You know he doesn't believe anything of what he's accusing you of. And so at the end, the question he asks to all of you is he looks at you and he says, all of his raving kind of just melts away. He looks at you and he says, "Who do you serve?" And that's it. Just a simple question. Dalavash.
Man, I don't get to answer the other questions.
I'm gonna say I don't,
You will. We'll get to you. We'll get to you.
I'm gonna say I don't serve anyone.
Staff.
I say I serve my house because they're my family. So I serve my family.
And who is your house?
Who is I'll tell the truth. I'll say Civis. What am I gonna do? Lie to him? He's not gonna fucking care. They're not in conflict as far as I can remember.
Lob. He first accuses you of being involved in an assassination attempt, saying that eyewitnesses put you at the scene. How do you respond?
Sometimes people need killing.
So you admit it? You were involved.
That's not an admittance. Just say it.
I can see Hunter's
And
reaction
what
on the
and
silhouette.
then
Like,
he-
what the fuck?
then he talks about the theft that happened at some manor house, some influential person that you don't know anything about.
I don't steal.
How convenient. But murder, you do, yes?
In defense. Sometimes.
Defense. I'm sure your definition of that is different than mine.
Really?
And
You
then,
hurt. You hit one of my friends. I hit you.
and who did the king's brother hit? Which friend?
Oh. King's brother hits... I can't say that.
Is your king's brother one of those girls that were
The
coming at
king's
us?
brother hits like a baby.
Oh,
Who do you serve?
I serve my house.
And who is your house?
And I just pound my chest.
the House of Lob.
He just kind of looks at you and he nods, and the guards take you away. After a while, they repeat. They bring in Mother and Dove.
Lob's like a Star Trek Klingon.
Saf,
House of
as
Lob.
you're leaving the cell, you sense a presence. You sense something that registers to you. And you are aware, at a level you have never been before, of the presence of a being. You feel drawn in a connection, but you can't pinpoint them out right away. So as you make your way back to the holding cell, you kind of are sitting there, and you see that there are other holding cells. And as you look down the row, and it would be like back. So you guys are in this cell like right here, which is a big holding cell. And way back here, you feel a presence, but the door is closed.
Who is this
And
exactly? No, who's feeling it?
Saf,
Okay. Very interesting.
as a player, Saf, you sense
Dude.
Yeah.
Oh. Oh my.
So there's 2 guards and douche canoe.
plus this guy who's still pacing. So the 2 guards are taking you back to the holding cell, and as you're going in, you sense the presence down the hallway.
But I didn't sense it when we got there.
You didn't,
However, there is another. A warden like you. He can help us. He can return you. He can make you remember. I can be free.
I'm gonna try and probably terribly not react. And we didn't, so with the way we're going, we wouldn't go that way we wouldn't leave that way or anything at all, right?
not at all.
I'm gonna go into the cell, and I'm gonna wait and see what happens.
Okay, so as 3 more people are taken, the troll, Dove, Mother, and a couple more are taken to other cells with just 1 guard each. And you guys are left with the surly-looking guard, and he motions as the three of you. I'm assuming you kind of Dalavash, Saf, and Lob. You kind of go together or stay together.
Yeah.
He motions over. He kind of bangs the sail with his club. He motions over and he says, "Hey, you, ugly, the green one."
We knew who you meant when you said ugly.
What's that?
I said we knew who you meant when you said ugly.
I mean, I was gonna tell him to look in a mirror, but like, okay.
Come here. Bring your friends.
Go to the bar.
Do you two follow?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll go to like the end of the cell as far over as I can get, and just kind of like try and like look out and see if I can see down that way.
Down
Not
that
really
hallway?
paying attention. Yeah.
Can I ready an action? Just
Like
in case?
to grab him or what?
No. Like if he swings the club,
Okay.
I just want to grab it.
As long as you say what.
Not grab it, but like catch it.
Or like catch it. As long as you say what it's for, that's fine. And he says to you, "I have already talked to your friends, and I will have no outbursts from you." As he swings the his club to hit the bar right in front of you, Lob. Make a strength with proficiency.
So athletic.
So strength save.
Yes.
basically, Or
Yeah, athletics. That would work. Okay. And I'm just going to do an opposed roll.
get caught on my shirt, stupid.
And you, as he goes to bang the club, you just kind of reach out and grab it.
Okay. I don't pull it. I just want to
No.
catch it.
But you catch it.
Yeah.
And he kind of just like looks at you and he cocks his head.
Tell him to knock it off.
As he does that, a big grin splits his face, and he just kind of like makes a little bit of a gesture, and you guys see Tomas. Just for a moment, he winks at you, and then he's back to the surly guard, and he says, "Oh yes." In a quiet voice, he says, "Oh yes, my friends."
The minute he does that, I let go of the bat like it's disgusting. And I look at my hand, I'm like, oh.
Oh, I forget. And he just smiles at you. He winks at Dalavash and Saf, and he says, "I am so glad to see that you have made it to the city. I take it that you used my information well, yes?"
That we did, yeah. Thank you
Yep.
for that.
Indeed. I do not believe that it was bound for Fairhaven. I believe the target was Court. My agents say you stopped it just in time. Well done. My master is pleased. And hopefully, this is the first step towards mutual trust.
It's a long way.
Bide your time. And do not fret overmuch. Montrechard is a blowhard and arrogant, but he does have the best interest of the crown at heart. And the king, he will not listen as long as you do not give him cause to doubt.
Sorry. I want to ask him either before, during, or after his during or after his monologue. I want to ask him what's down there.
He just kind of looks, he shrugs, and he says, "Prisoners, I suspect."
Can you get me down there?
Right around this time, as he is kind of, right up against the bars, you hear and see the door open, and you see a trio walking towards. As soon as they enter, and give me just a second.
The music stopped.
So the first thing you notice is, number one, how attractive they all are. Like, almost an unearthly attractiveness about all three. And as they walk in, the second they open the door and you guys can see them.
No! Hide! Hide! You must hide! You must hide! Run! Hide!
Over and over, gibbering staff.
I don't move.
They have not seen you yet, but they are headed your way. You are not going to move?
Nope. I'm not gonna look at them. I'm gonna look the other way, because I have something going on that way that I am focusing on. So, but I'm not moving from my spot.
Okay.
I don't know if they can just look at you and know. I mean, don't you just look human?
It's not that easy.
As
You probably
soon
have a
as
sense. Like she has a sense.
as soon as they approach, Tomas steps back and approaches them. And the male holds out a parchment. It's a very rather large parchment. It's that tall. It's got official seals with tassels on it. He heads out, and I want to know what order you guys are in. Starting from closer towards the door. So they entered from this area down here, opposite of the door way down there. So what's the order? Is it Lob first, Dalavash first, Staff first? What order are you guys in? Because you're all
probably
standing
next to the bars still.
right. You're all three at the bars, but as they're coming towards you, who's first, second, and third?
Trying to be as far away. As
Now
close to the door as possible.
You were close, Saf. I'm going to say you were probably last since you were trying to get a look down the hall. So, Lob first, Dalavash second, then Saf.
Correct.
Okay. So as they approach, Tomas steps away, and he approaches the three. The male hands a writ to Tomas, who he kind of hooks his spiked cudgel on his belt and he reads it over. While they're doing that, the one in the middle, who's almost paladin-like, right? The one in the middle is staring straight ahead at the end of the hall. Saf, she's staring at the room where you think, where you're feeling that presence. The other two, the woman on the right, she is looking around, and she does a bit of a double take as she sees Dalavash, and she slowly she gives him a quizzical look, but she inclines her head deeply towards Dalavash. As the man looks over, he also sees Dalavash and nods, and then both of them freeze the moment they see Saphiel.
It is too late. They will find you and destroy you. You should have hidden him.
He just starts gibbering madly, constantly in your head, whimpering, crying, squealing. You can almost not even hear anything. It is so loud and causing such like a ruckus in your head.
I'm gonna like hold my head and just like take a step back. Because even though it's not physically damaging, it's probably pretty painful.
Yeah. So as you're doing that, as you're kind of stepping back, this girl on the right and the man give each other a look, and you can sense they're communicating. You hear nothing, you see nothing, but they're discussing with each other.
Psionics is common in Eberron, as I understand it.
So Tomas kind of looks up, and he nods, and he says, "This all looks in order. Follow me." And they head down. As he heads down, he kind of goes to the end of the hall, and the three look at each other, and the one in armor follows back, and she eventually goes as well, as they head to the back of the hall there. Tomas kind of is fiddling with it, but the man steps forward, and he first addresses Dalavash, and again the whole time you just hear gibbering in your head. Dalavash, you hear in a completely telepathic message, he says, "Well met. You are a stranger here."
From a distant land, yeah.
Your dress, but I sense your connection is not used. Are these your traveling companions? And he kind of just looks towards Saf and Log.
Yes, you could say that.
Do you know what she is?
Do I know what she is?
You do not.
What do I think she is? Just a human?
Yeah. Although there's always been a little bit of a connection that you've had.
Yeah.
Like
Okay.
it's kind of an unspoken, like it's just you sense something about her that you don't sense with everyone else.
Right. I'm just gonna play it cool and say, no, she seems like a normal human to me.
He just kind of shakes his head. At at around that point, Tomas kind of comes back and he steps out of the way as the two women escort a hooded prisoner wearing like rough spun. But as they get about the same distance to you, Saf, with the prisoner in between them, the prisoner jerks to a halt. And
I put my head up.
Turns towards you, and you hear a laugh. Just it's like a resigned, like he can't believe it's happening laugh. And the two women jerk him and push him further down the hall, with him just continuing to laugh. Oops. The women, not the dude.
As they're going by and leaving, I'll like stick my head out and like hands on the bar looking out, just like trying to look like at the person as they're walking away, and very dumb to say anime-esque, like she's not mentally crying, but there's like tears going down her face because it's loud and she doesn't understand what's happening.
Yeah. Tomas is just kind of like looking and not really sure too much. And he's just kind of observing. And the man finally turns towards you. And he says, your brother. And this he says out loud. Your brother faces execution. He turns to Lob and Dalavash. You would be best to slit this one's throat. You have no idea the danger she poses. If you do not do the deed yourself, we shall return with the proper documentation to take her as well.
You can try.
He just kind of turns sadly to you, Lob, and he says, you do not understand what she is. And he turns to Dalavash. What do you know of the quarry?
Quite a bit, I guess.
She is an Elan. A prison built inside of her is a quarry. If she dies, it would be released. If she releases it, the destruction, she is not safe.
It made my bones hunting the quarry, and let me tell you, I still wouldn't kill her for the sake of getting rid of this thing.
She will go mad. Who knows how long she has been its prison. She is not human. She was created by the masters. She is a vessel.
Well, she's our vessel. You're gonna get to her, you gotta go through us.
We will return. And we will see that she is properly disposed of. And with that, he just kind of nods towards you, Dalavash. He looks again at you, Lob, shakes his head, and departs. Dove and Mother. While that's all happening, you have Montrichard just railing and raving at you. He talks to you about the assassination attempt, saying that people have put you at the scene of the crime. He knows of your involvement and that you should confess. How do you respond?
I plead ignorance. In fact, I show surprise when they talk about the death of the king's family, and I even offer my services to help investigate, being a skilled investigator.
It would make sense for you to return to the scene of your crime, yes?
If I had committed a
Keep an eye.
crime, then I would fess up. Seeing as I'm innocent in this particular crime, then there's no scene of the crime to return to. I'm afraid you've found the wrong quarry, monsieur.
And then without kind of missing a beat, he just goes right into the theft.
I'm not a thief.
Who do you serve?
I serve those who it is most advantageous to serve at the time.
You spoke before about the Council of 12.
They are my employer, yes.
Mother, same questions to you. The assassination. As he speaks, a war forged is not a thing to miss lightly. There are not many of you left. What do you say? Confess.
Suggest zone of truth and other magical precautions against lying, but not under magical oath, not at scene, and I will recount exactly where I was at the time.
Again, as if
Suggest better sources.
he doesn't even really care what your answer is. He launches right into the theft. Where is the item? It must be returned. Confess, and we will go lightly on you.
Again, repeat exactly where I was.
He just kind of sits back and he looks at you.
Hope your justice system is more fair than Breland's.
Kind of cocks his head a little bit. He says, "Who do you serve?"
But not convinced. Serve society, ultimately. Current employer? 12.
You serve those who created you and who effectively doomed your entire species.
Would distinguish house and council. Do not trust house. Council. If war can be prevented, good goal.
And shortly after that, he kind of waves his finger, and all of you guys are brought back. And eventually, the other groups, the other prisoners, are kind of put through the same rigmarole, but you guys are all brought back into the main room together.
I'll say as I get into the cell, I look at the rest of my guys and I go, "It's a witch hunt. They want to pin it on us no matter what."
Hold on one second. As you hear the last bit of, well, you hear, as you guys are leaving, you hear just the tail end of the conversation between the male Kalishtar and Lob and Dalavash, and he says, you hear him say that they will return to take her and deal with her, as he's looking towards Saf, and then he goes, and you guys are ushered back
I guess I'd
into
say
the central cave.
Why you?
Well, I guess we better get out of here sooner than later then, huh?
She's just still crying and like not speaking, but like just like I don't fucking know. Like I don't know anything that they just said. I don't know what she's just like. I don't know what Elan is. I don't know what Pori is. Just like crying and like hysterical breakdown because she's like, out of character. I thought they were gonna be nice to me. I thought they were gonna help me and be like, oh, you're not gonna fucking murder me. So she just like doesn't know what's happening. Actually, she's probably be like looking at Dalvash like, are you gonna kill me? You said you're not gonna kill me, but are you gonna kill me? What do you know? Like, she's out of it.
At this point, I'm gonna telepathically say to Saf, you have nothing to fear from me. I'm not gonna hurt you.
She just like shakes her head and is still just like crying, like I don't know what's going on.
All right.
Leave, we must leave, we must leave.
And she's gonna yell, like put her like fist on the thing and be just like scream, I can't, because I can't go anywhere. And I'm not gonna do that to you guys, but she just starts banging on the jail cell.
Is Tomas guard
Really,
still here?
so really quickly, Tomas kind of comes up. He turns to you all and particularly addresses Saf, and he says, in a quiet voice, he says, I do not believe that they will gain the proper documentation before your release, and they have no authority. You are not being held on any charges. But I will make some inquiries. I will seek out. I have contacts within the Kalishtar encampment. I will provide more information. But I would suggest you avoid that area for now. I must go.
Puts her head down after he's done. It just goes over to Lob and just puts her head like in his chest and just starts hitting his shoulder.
And with that, he kind of like
bars.
with that, he kind of he goes out. He waves and he goes out. And then after a while, like a short while, just after Tomas leaves, Morishard returns, and he beckons for you guys to come close, and and as you guys kind of gather at the bars, which you're probably kind of right there anyways.
I put on my fake teary face like I'm still crying from his yelling at me.
And he kind of just turns to you and he says, enjoy these bars. You will not see the outside of them if there is anything that I can do. We are done with the meddling of the houses in on there. And with that, he kind of just stomps away.
Yeah, he was not going to be convinced otherwise.
We can assist in that.
No, he's not the one to speak to because he can't be swayed. You know, like certain political parties in this
He
country.
is fanatical.
Yeah. Yeah. Luckily, he's not in charge. So now what? I say pointedly toward Tomas.
No, Tomas is
Oh,
gone.
he is gone. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Let's start checking.
So-
He left us somewhere.
So as you guys are leaving, you
We're not leaving
kind
anymore.
of, or no, sorry, as everyone else is leaving and things have settled down and everyone's been returned to the holding cell, you see others. There's quite a few that are pretty interested in you.
Okay.
And they're like in pockets and groups, but like everyone's looking at you because the Kalistar wasn't very
Subtle.
quiet or subtle.
Okay.
Find whoever will get in front of me.
I'm not making any effort to conceal that I'm watching whoever's watching us.
Yeah. In particular, you see the shifter keeping an eye and studying you guys.
Mm-hmm.
He's off kind of by himself. And then you see the hobgoblin also is another one that's eyeing you closely. But he's still kind of keeping an eye on the troll. But there's also a pretty rough-looking dwarf with them as well. And out of all the people that are there, a lot of them are just kind of avoiding any and all eye contact with you guys.
Is the troll
But-
here?
The troll is here in with you guys, and he's just kind of like, just not really sure what's going on, and he just keeps asking when they can go, and the hobgoblin just kind of constantly reassuring him, as well as the dwarf. The dwarf and the troll don't seem to be paying you any mind. It's really the hobgoblin and the shifter that are studying.
I'm gonna actually walk over to those two. Are they together?
They are not together.
All right. Well, I've already spoken to the shifter, right? Didn't he say something?
Okay.
I'll walk over to the hobgoblin and say, "Could I help you with something?"
You can't help us.
Can I satisfy a curiosity? Do you have a question?
He just looks at you and he says, "I saw the fight. You did not start it, but you should not be here."
Oh, I thought you were gonna say, "But we certainly finished it." No, we shouldn't be here. We'll get out.
No, you should not be in here, in on there.
Why would you say that?
More will come for you. You are not wanted here.
I'm sorry, I seem to be a bit uninformed. Can you let me know why I'm not allowed here? Is there something against red-haired women? And I point at Saffin myself. And I don't. I fail to see what it is that we have going for us that your town seems to have a prejudice against.
It is not just the town. Everyone is sick of the houses, thinking that they can do whatever they want. And yet, my people are still not recognized. We are laborers or mercenaries. And I think that you wish to keep us that way.
I have no such desires. And if I had anything to do with the house or with the house leadership, then it wouldn't be the way it is. But I do not.
Roll a persuasion.
Yes, please. I can't see what I rolled. 19.
I was going to say,
I just want to
what's
see
the
what I
minimum
rolled
you
first.
can roll? He kind of grudgingly seems to accept what you're saying. And he just says, my people are treated poorly, but maybe you are not to blame. But this place, they do not like either of us here.
Well,
And with
that's,
that,
well, that's their problem, I say.
yeah,
And
Mother
their loss
will
as well.
Mother will walk over and say, the houses have wronged all of us. I hope that can be changed.
I don't know if we necessarily believe that, being as we are all the way up in the highest order of the secret police of the houses. I think there's a certain level of fanaticism our characters probably have, but I think we could still have our own opinions as well.
well, I would take that one step further. Because yes, you are very high up, and you do see a lot of the stuff that, like, you guys have to cover up the bad stuff that the
Yeah,
houses.
that's true. And none
You
of
know,
us
so
are dragon
you're-
marked either, so we're not
Yeah,
necessarily.
you're a
part
bit
and
more
parcel.
jaded about it. That you know, there are times when the houses are complete assholes,
Mhm.
and we either have
Well,
to
except for Yarn,
correct
of
the
course.
problem. Yeah. Although Ithuriel is from House Fjarlin, I will remind you.
I know, but I'm just saying, looking at my, my
Yeah.
He's not one of
personality
us,
traits.
though.
Yeah.
my traits have me kind of fanatical toward the house.
So with that, he kind of just says to you, and he says, "Watch yourself. I am sure they will release you, but watch yourself."
If I have
And-
anything to say about it, they'll release all of us.
He just kind of like smiles halfway, and he says, "I am
Yeah,
sure."
sure.
But he says, "If you make it to Old Town, speak to,
Hunter heads to the notes.
yeah." He says, "Find an ogre by the name of Galumka."
Golumka?
Spelling?
He looks at you, clearly knowing that you probably didn't get it the first time. He repeats it slower. Galumgar.
Golumka.
And where? In
Old
where?
Town.
What town?
Old Town.
Old Town.
Old Town.
I'll be sure to do that. Thank you.
He just kind of nods and goes back to kind of comforting the troll. And you can kind of tell he's kind of a little bit done with the conversation. And he seems a little bit more mollified as he is.
Do we still have our equipment besides our weapons?
So you do not. You have. I'm going to say anything that's in a backpack was probably taken.
So my thieves'
But-
tools were probably taken.
Probably
I
our
would
armor.
say, no, they let you keep the armor because it was
Oh.
pretty hurried. They just
The
kind of
real-
rushed you in.
So that
So I
means
would
I
say-
probably still have the hat of disguise.
Correct. And I would also say, Saf, that you probably have a special place where you keep your
Thieves' tools.
your thieves' tools.
I mean, I wasn't gonna use them, but I was definitely thinking about it.
Yeah, well, I say we give it a little bit of time to see what the legal proceedings are, and if they suddenly pass judgment and we're going to be executed, then we pull out all the stops and we get out. Because I really feel like right now we're not actually held against our will. They think that we are.
This is
But-
a power play.
Yeah, between your thieves' tools and my hat of disguise, I could probably just march us out of here as a guard if we really needed to leave. But yeah, like you said, yeah. See what Tomas has up his sleeve, I guess. So I'll just entertain the room, do a little sing-songiness. I don't have my instrument. 'cause I would've taken that too, probably.
Does anyone want to approach the shifter?
Well, I spoke
I
to him
do.
briefly. Oh, okay, go ahead.
I'll
He keeps kind of like eyeing to you guys, and if no one approaches him, he's gonna approach you.
I will. Yeah, I will start with I am sorry you were caught up in this. Do you know who those people were who attacked?
I do not, but I do believe that my people would know. And we could also help hide your friend. As he kind of nods towards
Seth?
Saf.
Would be very much appreciated. Can see what we can do for you as well. If there is
We-
anything.
We deal in information. Saf, are you paying attention?
Yeah, just if he's shut up, yes. If he's still
He's
In my
gibbering. He's gibbering, but no, you can't make out any words.
okay. If I can hear outside of him, then I'll just listen. But
He kind of motions towards your group to try and hopefully get the attention of most of you, and he performs some gestures in thieves' cant, and he says, in thieves' cant, he says, come to the church.
Oh, we gotta get out before we can go to the church.
Do you respond at all, Saf? He doesn't know. He's just kind of throwing it out there.
so before answering, do I know what, like, is there one church, or do I need to get specifics?
It might be enough, but if you might find out more if you respond in kind.
Okay, so I will
just testing
do
if
the
anyone
same
knows these
thing he did, and just say where and when.
And he just he smiles, he grins towards you, and he signs empty Church of the Fist. You'll know it.
And does he say what time?
No, he just said, "Come find us." Obviously, you can't right now because you're
Incarcerated.
incarcerated.
Okay. I'll just say thank you. Thank you for your kindness.
He nods, and as you guys are just kind of waiting and settling in, you hear a voice, rather insistent, muffled voice, but it's almost familiar. And it's
They
coming
have
from
our
like
handler?
the door. And in walks in a familiar face as your handler,
Oh, all right.
Nikolai.
Is this the handler that we had in Sharn?
It is.
Fancy seeing you here.
It is.
No, I say.
He finally has. He finally has a bit of a or a name and a portrait. So he comes in.
What's his name?
Nikolai.
Right.
Yeah,
Who is he?
Keep trying to drink that bottle that was closed. I'm sure it'll do you well.
Nikolai Brashka, and he comes up to you guys, and he says, "Oh my, I'm so sorry. I could not meet you at the fountain."
Yeah, well. Things happen. Things happened.
I have greater concerns now.
He is followed by a guard as he impatiently motions for him. Yes, hurry up. As the guard opens the gate, counts you guys out, and motions for you guys all to leave. So you're all escorted out. You're brought to a room where the captain who spoke to you, Saf, approaches you and returns your daggers. He makes a note to go up to you and personally deliver them, and there are several other guards who are holding all of the rest of your gear. And as you guys kind of quickly take a look at it, you can kind of see that for the most part, everything seems to be there.
For the most part?
Quick glance, right?
Okay.
You're just kind of going through everything, but you don't notice anything, missing.
Okay.
And so that's so all right. So you guys have everything. The Nikolai motions you guys out of the inn, or sorry, and you guys head back to the inn. Yep.
What time of day is it? It's gotta be late by now.
It's evening. So you head back to the inn, where Nikolai sets you up with a table that's a little bit more secluded, and orders food and things like that.
Excellent.
Ooh, there's people.
Yeah. That's what happens when you have a little bit more time to prepare.
Yeah.
And you realize you're going to need an inn.
Yeah.
So
All
there's
right.
some folk in here.
So you guys are headed there. The waitress comes, the barmaid comes, delivers rounds of drinks and food, And Nikolai thanks her and instructs her to just kind of put it on her on the tab, if you will. And then he says, so he says to you guys, I am so sorry that I was not here when you guys arrived. There was the damnedest thing. I was pulled away. All of the proper signs were given. And yet when I arrived, there was no one there.
Yeah, someone's operating against us, I think.
Did you write the note?
The note?
To go to the fountain?
I'll
I
produce
did not.
the note, 'cause I think I still have it.
That makes me think that maybe
I
either
left.
someone disguised as him or disguises you, or
We did run into somebody at the fountain who
I-
told us to
I
wait
did-
there, so it was a setup by someone.
Oh no, I left a note instructing you to wait.
Wait here or wait at the fountain?
Wait here.
It was the bartender that gave us the note that said to go to the fountain, right?
yep.
Was it a note or was it a...
It was a note.
It was a note.
Yeah.
Is the bartender here? That
Yeah.
particular one?
Yeah.
Excuse me a moment.
But there's nothing to say that she's okay and you're gone.
This is her.
Okay. Now I'm going to walk over to her and say, hey, remember me? We were here this morning, and you gave me a note that we were supposed to go to, that we should go to the fountain. Actually, did she read the note? Yeah, because didn't we say it looked like it had been opened?
It wasn't sealed,
Oh, okay.
and she was not surprised when you asked for directions to the fountain.
Okay. Then I'm going to ask her, just straight up, who gave you this note to give to us? Do you recall?
She kind of like looks at you and she says, "Oh, oui. And she kind of steps over and she points. He left it with the rest of us, and she kind of just walks over to like this shelf with tons of different notes. And she says, "Yes, he gave it. Yes."
And who was he?
She points again to Nikolai.
Oh, Nikolai.
I assume he is your friend. Yes.
Did you perhaps give us the wrong note? Because he says this isn't from him. I'm gonna be reading her face.
She kind of goes back and looks and comes and she says, "No, it was left for you."
All right. Well, did you
He
leave
said
me
he
anything
Was
else?
Was there some mistake?
No, only that he says he didn't leave it.
He did not give it to me, but it was left for you,
Okay.
for your rooms.
All right. Well, thank you for your candor. And I will head
She
back
kind of
to
gives
the-
you kind of an odd look and goes back here and then goes back into like the kitchen area. Do you show the note to Nikolai?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay.
I thought he'd already seen it.
No, so he did leave a note. He just said he did not leave
Not
that
this one.
note.
Right. So somebody switched him. He left a note, and then somebody who knew that, that's what I'm leaning toward right now.
Yeah.
Is that somebody saw it and goes, "Ooh, let's swap this with another one," and they knew we were coming because we saw the guy at the fountain who said, "Wait here for us," or "Wait here for somebody," and he had the proper code phrase too.
Correct.
And I'm gonna say that to this whole table in case anyone here didn't know that, specifically Nikolai.
And how did they know we would be early Also, how was Mont Richard early?
Well, how? Yeah, I was gonna say how early were we? Because he also had to have gotten here somehow. So feasibly, the train could have still technically gotten here first because we got off of it. Although I think the airship was faster.
Well, didn't he? We met up with him. He got off and left, and then we had the whole
we did have
event.
to stop for a while. Yeah.
Yeah.
True.
And then, so theoretically, he could have kept going, or they went a separate way because we still had the whole investigation,
Yeah.
the time to get there, which was still like another 24 hours because we had to stop and drop off
Yep.
the woman, and I can't think of her name, so I'm just gonna say Rachel. We had to drop off her.
Marinor?
Close. Marinor.
Marinor.
Yeah.
Marinor, yeah.
Yes. Concerning.
How many people knew we were coming? I'm sad. I'm not saying anything. She's not talking. I should just mute myself.
So what's our next course of action? I say, looking at our handler. We have a few people to talk to here in town.
This business with at the fountain has definitely complicated matters. I had intended that you should meet with the king, but I fear we may need to see the fallout. Montrechard is quite vocal against the houses.
Mm-hmm. No shit. I don't think.
You must also choose to meet with either House Orion or House Lerandar, as both in the city. Orion is accusing Lerandar of sabotage.
So would it not make sense to speak to both houses?
Yes, but who you choose first may have ramifications. Lerandar maintains their innocence.
So if
But-
we split up and we went to both at the same time. Is that what you were thinking, Hunter?
I can make arrangements.
What are they accused of?
He just kind of sighs. As of right now, there are no charges being brought against you. However,
No, I mean, what are the houses accused of?
by who? What do you mean?
You said that one of them claims innocence.
Oh, so House Orion is accusing House Lerandar of sabotage, and Lerandar maintains their innocence.
Okay.
There was an incident at the Lighting Grail concourse
Here in
Fairhaven.
Okay.
It is one of the largest.
So then my suggestion would be we get a representative from both houses to meet us somewhere. So we can meet them at the same time without us having to split up. Because
He kind of.
I look at Lob and I say, not all of us are made for talking.
With a half-eaten turkey leg in my mouth, I'm kind of like, huh?
That might require a bit more time. Let me, please, enjoy your evening rest. I will return with more news and
Very
see if we can arrange this meeting.
Alright. In the meantime, we'll get some rest, as you suggest. and we might do some more sightseeing tomorrow.
Yeah,
So
it's
kinda looking at
it's
these guys.
still not completely like it's only about like it's about 5 p.m.
Yeah.
or so.
How far is Old Town from here?
Probably not too far, right? You're not in the best part of town to begin with.
Ah, okay. I hear Old Town's great this time of year.
So Nikolai excuses himself as he bids you farewell. I will go and see what I can set up and arrange for the houses. As representatives of the 12, I don't know that they have much choice. To refuse would be very bad. I will do my best to bring both parties to parley with you. Yes?
Sure. If you know a place that would be a good meeting spot, that'd be a neutral situation, probably not here, that would be great.
Indeed. I will make it happen and arrange. And with that, he kind of heads out.
Quick question for him
Yes.
first, actually.
Oh, sure.
Do you know of... how should I put this? House factions that do not shy away from conflict and seek more power operating in the city? I suppose I should ask, did you hear about an earlier incident that we, on the train?
Say that one more time? I'm not following exactly.
Well, first, okay, for context, I guess I will first ask, were you informed of the incident on the train coming over here?
You're referring to the bomb stuff.
Yes. And he assures you, I have heard, I have spoken with Cord via Sending Stone, and I had heard terrible business. Yes.
Okay, so then if you have heard of the faction that seemed responsible, do you have any knowledge of them operating in this city?
So are you asking about? Well, they don't necessarily know who was involved, right?
Okay.
True. You guys have mentioned. I do not believe that they have decided who exactly is to blame.
Okay, because Anam had kind of mentioned a group with particular beliefs, and I see. Just wondered. Thank you.
Indeed.
Many factions at play here. Concerned.
A lot of things, and they may not all be connected either. Or they might. I think we've got that crate of red herrings.
So with that, he kind of heads out. To see, what he can do to set up. So what do you guys want to do?
If no one else has anything, I was thinking maybe Old Town. We can go hit up that ogre guy we're supposed to potentially meet with. Unless we want to go find the church that Saf was talking about. We don't know
Did
anything about
Saf
that. Yeah.
tell us about that?
Right. Yeah, I wouldn't know about that.
Probably not. She probably hasn't been talking very much
Because
about.
I don't speak thieves' cant.
Might be
Daffy might do a dumb, so
might be safer there, since there may be a trail here.
Safer where? Old Town?
Yes. If they can
You mean
hide.
actually finding somewhere to stay?
Uh,
Because then our
well-
handler can't get in touch with us if he doesn't know where we are.
Well, you
I
guys do
believe-
have rooms here. It's not
Right.
meaning you have to stay, but
Right.
yeah.
Yes, I mean specifically, and I kind of glanced toward staff.
I don't think we should stay here.
Agreed.
But we should at least check in case. Well, they've already proven that we can't reliably get messages from here either.
where is the? So now that I know where the church, well, what I'm looking for, where is it in relation to Old Town? And the inn in general, like.
Well, have you asked
We
anyone?
get a
Like
local
you know,
tourist map.
right?
Yeah, I'd probably
Um,
avoid talking to people.
Right. So the only thing so what you heard from him was the empty Church of the Fist.
The flaming fist.
And actually, he didn't say fist. My apologies. I'm confusing
The
this game
flaming
with
fist.
TOA. He said empty flame, the empty Church of the Flame.
And I'll know it. Have I seen anything that looks like that?
So the silver flame.
No.
Alright. I'll go to Old Town with them then.
Okay.
Maybe we'll see it
And
on the
then-
way. I don't say that because I don't know what you're looking for.
Ah, yeah, good point. I will be on the lookout for it.
But he
Maybe.
did tell Mother that that they could potentially hide you.
But what does that mean?
That's true. Well, if we are being watched or hunted, then Lob's right. We shouldn't stay here. But I don't want to leave word with the bartender where we can be reached. But we need to get Nikolai on the same page at some point. And he's gonna
Well, it
be
sounds
getting-
like-
What?
I was just gonna say, it sounds like he has his hands full as anyway.
Right, but he's
We-
trying to make an
We
arrangement.
have our orders, don't we?
Well, he's going to try to get the houses to meet with us somewhere, so we have to wait for him to do that. I think that is our orders at the moment. That's our priority. But other than that, we're on our own. So, I mean, we can always come back here in the morning, hang out during the day if we have to see if he shows up. Or,
Primary concern for staff. Also info on assailants.
oh, those ladies and guards and stuff. What do you want for info on them? What are you looking for to find? Who they were?
Yes, who they were, why they attacked. They will likely be back.
I get the impression.
How they got our info and
Yeah.
infiltrated us.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's go see what we can find out from the one lead we have right now. The one and only lead that we have right now.
Well, at
Shoulda.
least until
Until we happen to walk by a church that stands out.
yeah.
There's a big neon sign out front that says "Saf, this is the one."
All
Could
right.
have asked Captain about suspects. But it will be Church of the Silver Flame.
We don't know that. Well,
To speak, thieves can't.
yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
So you guys make your way to the older part of town, and
This guy
it
looks ominous.
is. What's that?
This guy looks ominous. On the bottom left. Where's
Yeah,
his
I
face?
mean, there's definitely a lot of different people here. There is some construction going on, and so you see quite a few like minotaurs, trolls. It looks like there's a lot of craftsmen being imported from Drome.
What is this pack animal?
Giraffe horse?
Pack?
I don't.
I saw
It's
that too.
Beast of burden. You know, you can't have everything you want in an image you download off the internet. So, you know, pay no mind to the Star Wars looking creature in the back. But as you guys come here,
Those that could not find enough Warforged for labor.
So one thing to note, like, Drome is one of their biggest exports is skilled craftsmen and mercenaries. Mercenaries are typically handled through House Thrashk, but Drome itself handles the labor, and it has become quite popular. And the biggest thing is since Warforged are no longer like owned, then they don't show up necessarily in droves to do things like that, right? So they're sentient. They may be skilled, but you also have to pay those skilled prices, whereas the rates offered from the monster races tend to be very competitive. So while you will still, but for large projects, it's, you know, in some ways it's kind of like, I don't know, well, it's probably not as much here in New Hampshire, but here in Ohio, it's like the Amish, right? If you can get them to your site, the Amish can put up a building in like a day. Very skilled craftsmen, very affordable prices, and you know, all that good stuff. But I don't recall many Amish in New Hampshire.
No.
Northern Maine.
Yeah. Okay. So, you guys make it to the old part of town. It's very busy, very bustling. It's not like run down, but it's certainly not the nicer part. So, like where your inn is in between. It's kind of like it would be like the middle class. But here, it's a very bustling, thriving town. You know, people are still pretty well dressed. There's a lot of shops and things like that. They're just not as fine as it are. And you can kind of see in the background over here, these houses up here, things like that. That's where, as you head back towards the center, you can see like the Royal Palace towers going up here in the distance. So you're on the outskirts of town as you head in. You know, not quite seedy, but certainly a very, very different experience. All right, what do you guys want to do?
All we have is a name, right?
All you have is a name. However, he did say it was an ogre.
Right. Not a lot of ogres around here. Alright, I want to find a street shop like a open air stall if there is one, with a little food cart or something.
And I want to look around at to see if there are any churches or anything like that around.
I don't leave 10 feet from Seth.
From Saf. Okay. So you guys are kind of just exploring then? Is that kind of what you're looking to do?
Well, if there's like an open air stall or a shop, I figured I'd walk up, look at the goods for a moment, and then ask the shopkeeper if they know of an ogre named Galamgar. I don't want to just stop a random passerby. I want somebody that seems to be a fixture of the neighborhood.
Sure. So as you guys are kind of going along and, looking, Seth, you do see, off in the distance, you do see a very large, cathedral-looking building, with one of the tallest structures having a tarnished and slightly damaged almost like a statue of like a flame. So you do see what looks like what was once a magnificent cathedral, and
So
it
it does
definitely looks looks abandoned.
What are you looking at?
Hold on. Give me high or low. Jamie.
Hi.
Yeah.
I'm going to, when we get into a crowd of people, I am personally going to try and break off.
Oh no.
Okay.
And stealth and try and get over there.
Okay. It is pretty far in the distance.
How could you lose her, you big brute?
But so you guys are kind of, going along and asking about, as you start asking or mentioning an ogre, one guy seems to think he knows what you're talking about, and he says, you're looking for Galamgar's crew?
Well, Galamgar specifically.
Head towards the and he points at an area and he says, there's an old guard barracks. He's him and his crew are rebuilding.
Alright.
Can't miss it. 3 blocks that way.
Thanks. Thank you very much. I will gather my crew and venture forth.
Okay. You must gather your party before venturing forth.
Yes, except that I can't find all my party.
Well, guess we're not going anywhere.
Right?
Saft, roll your stealth.
Ooh.
All right.
I shouldn't laugh yet.
Yeah, you haven't rolled the spotter yet. Well, you're passive.
You
Mother,
do have
you didn't declare that you were following us.
Staff, you do have inspiration.
I know. I mean, I'm thinking we're not gonna fight, so I will use it.
Roll again. All right. Staff, Mother, Law.
I am
Okay.
actively following her.
Yeah, you are actively following her,
Yeah.
and Lob, and actually all of your passive perceptions are at least as high. I'm gonna say that Mother, Lob,
I'm gonna actively
you
lose sight of
both
her
see
because
her.
I'm.
You both see her breaking away. You both see her breaking away. I'm gonna say that
She
Dove
throws down
and
a smoke
Galabash-
pellet and stands in it.
I just realized I could have hid and given myself advantage and not had to use it, but whatever.
I call after
Well,
her.
you couldn't. You
Stop.
couldn't hide.
Stop.
You couldn't hide from Lob, who's actively following you.
Words to live by. You can't hide from love.
I tell her to stop.
Saf, what do you do?
How many is so there? So Dove and
Yeah, I'm distracted. I'm not even paying attention. I just
So
assumed
who is
everyone's
paying
with me.
Mother and Lob have noticed you breaking away right now, but with Lob telling you to stop, I'm going to say that the rest of them are also noticing.
I'm just going to look directly into Lob's eyes and just like back away into the crowd and then turn and just okay.
Okay.
It's gonna fucking
So I'm going to say, let's do an opposed.
Nope, no post. I'm just gonna let her.
Okay.
There'll be hell to pay when she comes back.
All right.
Nice heavy scolding.
And the rest of you, are you just gonna also?
You've disappointed Mother.
If Mother tries to go in pursuit, I put my hand in front of him.
Yeah, probably not.
Don't you want to make your mother proud?
Well, at least we know she wasn't abducted.
She'll answer for this.
I'm trying to protect you, okay?
Right?
You don't know that, but
You're right. Yeah.
I'm not mad. I'm disappointed.
Did you see what?
Oh
Dangerous to venture alone.
no.
man. Thanks, Dad.
Right? Ugh, it hurts.
Well, but Mother put its
Oh,
hand
don't worry.
around
When
Law.
she comes back, there will be a scene.
Your parents are
Mother
not
and I are
mad,
very
just
disappointed with you.
Okay. So Saf, you are able to break away as you head towards the old cathedral. The rest of you, as you go on, you make your way towards what's obviously a lot of construction going on. There's a lot of different, it's a pretty mixed group. There are some humans, although they are in the minority. It's a lot of differences. You see minotaurs, some trolls, orcs, goblins, hobgoblins, bugbears. You even see some gnolls, and they're just all working. There's a lot of masonry going on, and as you guys approach the scene, you quickly see Galungar.
Okay. Do I see the hobgoblin that we
he's
were
hard
in prison with?
to miss.
before?
Nope. So he
Oh,
may
wow.
still be
Look at this guy.
in there. So this guy has like what appears to be like a shovel over his shoulder as he's barking out orders and you've got guys coming up to him. He's directing. He's kind of overseeing what looks like some like schematics and things like that. And he's deep in conversation with a couple of his crew as you guys approach.
All right, I'll wait for him to finish his sentence, but I'll make it obvious that I'm standing there waiting to be acknowledged.
Unfortunately, we lost a relevant person.
For this guy?
Yeah, Saf.
Why?
The church is where we were going to get information about the assailants. This
We don't-
guy can help
we
us
don't know that.
hide her.
Yeah,
The
you don't know
shifter.
about the church.
Oh, yeah.
Well, yeah, we don't know where it is, but the other guy was the one who was telling us about.
Yeah, well, we kind of all want to be hidden too, so.
Sure.
No, but you don't know about the church at all. He
Right.
said that in Thieves'
Yeah,
Camp.
that was all in another language.
Yeah, he just said to you, Mother, that they could hide Saf.
I mean, we can still talk to him.
Oh, he told
But,
us
yeah.
about both of them. Okay.
No, the hobgoblin told us about this guy, and the shifter
Yeah.
told us
Oh,
about.
This
told her
wasn't the
about
guy that was
church.
hiding. This was the first person that Dub talked to.
Yep.
Yeah.
He just said if we get out, when we get out, come talk to this guy.
I should have asked Shifter about where to find them. Don't know why I didn't.
All right. Do you guys approach the ogre?
Oh yeah. Well, like I said, I'm waiting for him to finish whatever he's talking about. I want to
Okay.
be impolite.
So he finishes barking orders. He turns to you and he just looks at you and says,
What you want, little girl?
Can we talk somewhere in private?
Got you shot, busy.
We were told to speak to you by a hobgoblin who was recently arrested.
What?
Did he say about what? It's a little distorted.
he said, hold on one second.
I said about what?
I'm not entirely clear. He said if we get out, we should come find you. We were arrested for nothing, really. A whole bunch of us were rounded up at the town square, or at the fountain, including a
Just
troll and a
because.
hobgoblin and a few others.
Just some hobgoblin tells you to come see me? Who is this man?
Did he give us a name? I don't think he did.
He did not. I'm going to drop that because I don't like it.
Yeah, it's a
I
little
was hoping it would be
warpy.
a little bit better than it was, but he just turns to you and he says, "He gave you a name?
He did not. He said,
Who was he with?
he said that we
I'm
were.
missing some men. Who was he with?
He was with a troll,
Ah,
and the troll
Damn.
seemed a little simple, or at least a little naive.
aye, good workers, not the brightest." As he's kind of talking, not there. He points over at a guy that's carrying like a load of bricks. Not there, you idiot! Over there. Sorry, we're behind schedule, and that bastard getting himself nicked doesn't help.
He didn't
What
do
can I
anything
do
wrong.
you for?
He didn't do anything wrong. He was in the wrong place at the wrong time, like the rest of us.
There's been too much of that going on. Contractor, no. I have half a mind to take me boys home. Get out of here.
Where are you from?
Drome. Of course.
Do I know
Don't
what that
see
is?
many gnolls and ogres around here.
True. Best constructors around now, I hear.
We gets the job done.
I act
Boys.
like I'm admiring the architecture around here, which I have no idea what that any of it is, but I'm just like, all right, great work.
This one's a pretty simple, and he just kind of looks at it and he says, "Yeah, this is simple work. Just restoring this place. The gods want more of a presence here, you know? If you want to see really what my boys can do, head on inwards, where we just restored several shops on." He rattles off a street name. That's where you'll see how splendid our work can truly be. Not this simple stuff here.
Will
Yeah.
do, sir.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but he didn't tell us why to speak to this guy, right? Or am I?
No.
Okay.
Well, implied to hide her from the Kalashtar.
See, I thought that was
No.
the other guy.
That was the other guy.
That was the person you talked to.
Yeah, you talked to the shifter, who said,
Oh, really? Okay.
"Yeah." So he just looks to you. So you met me boys, did you?
Yeah, they should be out soon. They didn't do anything wrong. It was the.
They never do. Let me guess. Let me guess.
Oh, I'm letting you guess.
Purple hat, purple clothes.
Yep.
It's
the
on
one.
an issue.
We were accosted. We defended ourselves. He rounded up everyone in the area, including your two guys. Boys? Your two guys, boys.
Hey, let me guess. Well, I understand why you nicked my boys. And he kind of looks you over. What did you do to him to get him all riled up? And he nods towards Lob. Him I can understand.
I'm with him. And I'm with him. Or they. I'm with them. And I'm with him. And we defended ourselves admirably with but a scratch.
You were attacked
I'm
by
not
the
listening,
city
by the way.
guard. You're not listening?
And that was.
What?
I didn't even know I was there, so.
Oh, I thought you followed
Yeah,
us.
you would have gone on. You didn't follow Saf, right?
No, I didn't follow Saf, but I didn't necessarily go back to Dove.
Oh.
Oh, okay.
Well, everyone stopped when she ran away
Okay.
after you called out to her, and then they would have continued on.
Okay.
But anyways, okay. So if you're not there, he would just say, "You're not the type he usually picks on."
Yeah, it was obvious by the people that they rounded up with us. I think he has a problem with authority figures and those who can defend themselves. Bullies rarely like people who can defend themselves.
Do you need a place to stay?
I look at these guys and say, well, it couldn't hurt.
You're welcome. We have lodging, and he rattles off an inn. You can go tell the innkeep. If my boy recommended you, I'll do my best. Tell the innkeep Gangar sent you, and they'll set you up with rooms. I could even use some old skilled workers if you're looking for work.
That's not really the kind of work that I'm good at. But what kind of work are you asking about?
He just kind of points around at the job site.
Yeah, that's not really my thing. I'm more of a fine motor skill problem solver.
Not trained in masonry, but interested in learning. Fine work.
Mother
We've got lots of work. I can use a big fella like yourself. You forged quite the workers. Most of you quite skilled. Anyway, you tell the innkeeper with me. She'll let you stay. Good lass.
Well, many thanks. And while we're there, if you have need of, call us investigators. Probably not a lot of need for that in your line of work, but
If you can do anything to help me boys, I'd be grateful. I'm anxious to have
the ones
especially the big one back.
Well, I'll see what I can
Unfortunately,
do.
they're not the only ones. He's locked up. If that bastard had his way, we'd all be out of this city.
You shouldn't call it shitty. It's pretty nice. No, I don't say that. Or maybe I did. Yeah, I'll see what I can do. I say half-heartedly because I don't know how. I'm not going to walk back into the prison right now.
Right.
Will do work if time. Can certainly bift.
We do have a job while we're here, so.
Well, he says, well, offers are good. See me if you're looking for work. Or if you need anything else.
Of course.
And he kind of just nods to you guys, and if there's nothing else, he's gonna storm off screaming at his workers.
Nope. I'll let him storm off.
Okay.
Where did he say the inn was?
Thank you, sir.
He gave you good directions. It's here in the older part of town. So if you guys want, you can head directly there. But before you do that, Lob, where are you?
I was gonna say
I just want to do a simple shopping and buy some basic smith tools.
Okay.
That's all I want to do.
All right. You kind of look around and you hear sounds of a smithy not too far away. So you kind of head that way, and you're able to get, depending on what you're looking for, go ahead and grab, like if you want smithing supplies.
Yep, just the basic smithing tools.
Do you have the proficiency? The tool proficiency?
I picked it up a level ago.
Oh, cool.
Nice.
Cool.
I just didn't have the tools.
All right. So you can find that. Anything you're doing after that?
I go back and I find the rest of the party.
You're gonna look for them. Okay. So you guys are able to kind of meet up with each other.
And I go, hey, where's Saf?
She has her own thing to do.
Well, I've procured a place for us to stay, but we should probably find her first so we can let her know where we're going to be.
I'm pretty sure she'll find us.
Alright, well, I believe it's over this way.
She's
All right.
Hope this place has a bar and a stage.
Hopefully, because I need a damn drink.
All right. So you guys are headed that way.
Yep.
Saf, you kind of make your way towards the cathedral, and it is a very, very impressive. Well, it once was very, very impressive, but it's fairly dilapidated. And this is one of the only areas you've seen where there is actually some damage. You're not totally sure if it's from the war or not, but there's no question that this building is completely abandoned, and there's not really anything nearby.
I'm gonna make sure my hood's up first, just in case. And then look around and see if I see anything on the outside that is like thieves can't anywhere, anything like that. See any people.
Okay. So what you do is you make your way inside, and the room is pretty abandoned. It's pretty dilapidated, and it looks pretty abandoned.
Except for the guy playing saxophone in the background.
That's
This
not
isn't
the music I
Shadowrun.
wanted. That's not the music I wanted. Why are you named that? You shouldn't be named that. Stupid. Hold on 1 second.
It's a secret jazz bar.
And we all go into our other characters. Jamie is now the DM.
You thought it was Eberron, but no, it was Shadowrun.
That would be a twist.
Shadowrun.
Normally it's Ravenloft, but
Oh, true.
Shadowrun, the Requiem.
Okay. So, you can kind of look. You can also maybe roll some investigating. But right now, it just looks pretty abandoned. Okay? So you kind of are scouting about the place. I would like you to... What's your bonus on observant?
It's +5, wasn't it, to passive?
Yeah, +5.
But does it bring anything else? It's just... Is it just
Perception
passive?
and it says passive wisdom, perception, and intelligence investigation scores.
Okay. So I'm going to... Okay. As you're going around, you definitely hear something coming from further into the building.
Sound I recognize?
It definitely sounds like movement, and it's almost possibly like it's barely, you can barely hear it. So it's definitely sounding like someone who is trying to remain hidden.
So I want to hide as well and try and follow where I feel like they're going.
Okay.
And I didn't
roll
see
your-
any thieves' cant or anything.
But it's a huge building. It's massive. So you are not yet able to see everything. So you come across and you see someone looking out, but they're looking and not quite able to spot you. But it is definitely a kind of cloaked and hooded figure. And they're just
Okay.
kind of crouched down looking towards the entrance where they last may have heard something close to your direction that you've kind of looped around.
So I want to go behind them and I want to like look at the ground. I mean, he's scattering around, so I'm assuming there's no traps, but just kind of like look around, make sure there's nothing there. and then I want to like get over to him and wrap my arm around his mouth and like stop his hand where he could be grabbing his weapon and just like make him be quiet and then turn him around if he doesn't freak out.
Roll a stealth. Okay.
Does he look like the guy from earlier?
Definitely not.
Okay.
The guy from earlier was a shifter. You can kind of tell that this is a human. As you approach, there is what looked like sure footing is a little bit of rubble. You make a noise, and he looks up, and your eyes meet, and he just says, "God damn, woman, you're good."
Gonna say fuck
Not gonna
under
do
my
it.
breath. And she's just gonna like, she's not gonna like attack or anything, and she's gonna just like, I was told I could find help here. Quietly.
Told by who?
And I will describe what he looked like. And I'll just like pull like a piece of my hair out because it's red, and that's a trait, is that they only have red hair, so hopefully that indicates what I mean.
He just kind of looks at you and he nods and he says, "I often said word. He said you and others might be coming. Is it just you then?"
Yes.
Well, how fortunate for us. And with that, he lets out a bit of a whistle, and about 5 other figures emerge. Is she the one? Aye, this is the one. I'm sure she'll fetch a good price.
Oh no.
And with that, we're going to end just a little bit early tonight.
Drop the mic. Cliffhanger. Woo-wee. I love it.
All right. So, as we end tonight, the rest of you make your way towards the inn. The name of the inn is the Dormouse, and it is a large inn. Not quite as big as or as nice as the inn you were at before. The Silver Rose Inn is definitely a lot nicer, more spacious. This one is basically more like a big boxy square. But it's got a really lively main floor, and it has 3 floors of rooms. And inside you see a pretty diverse crowd. There's a lot of dice, cards, tons of drinking, and you see a human male playing like a lute or something like that, and it's a pretty like body song, pretty upbeat as he's kind of dancing around, playing, like doing small turns, and a lot of the people in the inn are singing after it. Dove, you immediately recognize the song and just kind of grin as you walk in because it's pretty fun.
Okay.
He's not as good as you, Dove.
I might join it in a minute. After a break.
All right, and so that is where we will leave you as you guys settle down in. Saf, as the... Go ahead.
Never fucking trusting you're doing anything to help me ever again. That's 2 fucking times you've done that. Just so we're abundantly clear.
All right. Don't worry. You're gonna get it from Lob when you come back to the group.
Oh,
Don't
don't worry. I'll get my next character made and created.
Don't give up yet.
Oh, I'm not. I'm gonna wipe the floor with them, but I'm so mad. So mad at you.
All right.
Make a
Saf,
Bulgarian.
as they're coming in, as they're kind of surrounding you, and as he says that, a hatch opens up, and they kind of motion you towards it, and that's where we'll leave. Okay.
No, it's not okay.
All right.
Exciting. All right, stopping the stream.
2 weeks? Is that what we
Yeah.
got?
So then, well, it's actually a little bit more.
Okay,
So it's not going to be the
Motherfucker.
4th.
Right.
We'll talk about. Normally it would be the 18th. So it'd be the 4th and the 18th. So as of right now, we're talking 4 weeks.
Who do we need to kill to get it sooner?
So
I mean, not kill. I mean, send flowers to.
We
Who do
could
we
do
need
it.
to send flowers?
I mean,
You next Monday.
isn't there a Friday that your other game had to be canceled because Amanda can't make it, or is someone
well,
else?
here's the good news: is after the 28th, the other team is moving to Tuesday, so we could do the 11th. And so
Of
we could
August?
just do,
11th of
yeah, the
August?
11th of August. So we could
Ugh.
do the 11th and the 18th. Do 2 sessions back to back.
Mhm. Well, whatever works for everybody else. I just need to know like the day before so I can get to sleep on time.
Works for me.